Hi there, I'm Sai, and today I'm going to be reviewing these XERO HFS 2 shoes. So these are a version of the original HFS that I guess is an upgrade. I'm going to be wearing them and comparing them to the original HFS shoes, and I'm going to show you my immediate reaction as I try both of them on together, one on one foot and one on the other, from the HFS and the HFS 2, which are these ones. So here's a close-up look of the HFS 2, and you can see the bottoms of the shoes here. And I do want to point out really quick, this is the original model of the HFS, and there is a change to the tread of these shoes. You can see that the original HFS looks more like a tire tread, and the new HFS 2 looks more like the tread of a bike tire. And regarding flexibility, you can see that the original HFS is super flexible. Now this one doesn't feel quite as flexible, and that might be due to the fact that the sole is slightly thicker. The HFS 2 has an additional layer which is 1.5 millimeters thick called BareFoam, and that makes it a total of 9 millimeters stacked from the bottom of the shoe, and it also is 1.5 millimeters thicker than the old HFS. And you can see they both have this removable insole which is 2 millimeters thick, so you can bring this one down to a total of 7 millimeters thick and this one down to 5.5 millimeters thick. So let's go ahead and try them both on together and see how they feel. All right, this feels good like XERO shoes generally do. The fit feels a little bit stiffer than I can recall the regular HFS feeling, and so I'm going to go ahead and try the regular HFS on. And yeah, I would say at the very first try that the HFS, this one, the original, you can tell that it has a thinner sole because it's a little bit more flexible. Maybe it's a little more comfortable on the onset of putting them on, but let me stand up in them. They both feel comfortable, but there's a little more movability in this one. It's a little less stiff. Now it'll be interesting to see how that bottom of the sole feels on the new HFS 2, having that little bit more cushion. I'm not sure if I will like it better or not, but we're going to go ahead and see. I also want to point out here that although you can't actually see it, there is this strap here which tightens if you tighten the shoe more, and it goes around here and around the heel, and there is another one right here. So you can tighten this up to make it more supportive of your foot if you like. But what I generally like about the XERO shoe is that it has a 0 rise from toe to heel. So that means that the heel is not higher on your foot than the toe area is. And it has a generally wide toe box, which I also like. Gives your feet plenty of room to move around. And you can also see it's kind of shaped more like your foot, not so pointy like some shoes are. And they're also very light. And in this case, the HFS 2 weighs about 7.5 ounces, which is about 0.5 ounces heavier than the original HFS. But overall, I like the way these shoes feel. They kind of have that barefoot style feeling, and they feel good to me on my knees, and they also feel good on my feet. So I'm going to go ahead and wear this new HFS 2 shoe over the next 2 weeks so I can tell you what I think about it even more in depth and say how I like it compared to other HFS shoes. And I also am going to be wearing these on the alternating days. So for the next 2 weeks, I'll wear these one day and these one day. Now these are another XERO shoe called the Prio Neo. Both of these are newer models of previous shoes of the same style. The Prio Neo being more for the general kind of cross training, and the HFS 2 being a cross training shoe but also considered more of a road runner shoe, being that it's slightly lighter, and it is 7.5 ounces approximately at a size 9, and this one, the Prio Neo, is approximately 9 ounces at a size 9. So I am going to wear them both on alternating days, at least for the next couple of weeks, and report back to you on how I like the HFS 2 and tell you which one I like better out of the HFS 2 and the Prio Neo. So I'm back after wearing the HFS 2 for the last 2 weeks on alternating days with the XERO Prio Neo to compare them. And up front, I can definitely say that I probably prefer the Prio Neo for overall comfort. This shoe is just so comfortable that I don't know if it's beatable as far as comfort levels go. And it is about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces heavier than the HFS 2. So that might be the only downside of it, but it's just so comfortable. that I can't say enough good about the XERO Prio Neo. That being said, what I might like better about the HFS2 is that it does feel slightly more supportive. Now that could be considered more stiff by some people, and that's why I say that the other one is just the most comfortable shoe. This one doesn't have quite the flexibility in it that the Prio Neo does, but that might be good for things like sprinting or running, or when you just want to have a little bit of extra support in your shoe. And I did find that when I'm doing sprints, which I did both on the pavement and also on a treadmill, that there maybe is a little bounce to the HFS2. I did feel like it was very supportive of my foot for sprints, and I felt like I could sprint very well in it, and I did like that aspect of it maybe a little bit better than the Prio Neo. I also like that it's very light. Now if we're comparing this HFS2 to the HFS1, it is less flexible, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the sole being slightly thicker, and I can imagine that that might be suitable for you if you're doing really long walks or hikes, or you're on your feet a lot, or if you're doing long runs. Having that extra little bit of cushion on the bottom might make it worth it being a little bit stiffer. And also, of course, I do think that it is slightly better as far as sprinting goes than the original HFS. I would say overall it's probably not quite as comfortable as the original HFS. I would also say that maybe possibly it feels slightly more narrow than the original HFS, but overall it's a great shoe. When I was wearing it throughout the day, it felt like most of the Xeros that I wear, just very comfortable and pretty much uninhibiting. I think that's a good word for XERO shoes, is that they are generally so light and they feel so good on your feet. They feel natural, and I did feel that way when I was wearing the HFS2 just throughout the day. So all things considered, I do like the HFS2, and of course, like all the other XERO shoes, it has a 5,000 mile sole warranty, which to me means that XERO, the company, really believes in their shoes, and I do too. I've been wearing them for years and I really like them a lot. So I hope you liked my review of the XERO HFS2. If you did like my review, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and share this video. If you want to help support this channel, please use the links in the description or scan the QR code in the video, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.
Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't